Gabbie Hanna is often considered one of the most hated content creators on the internet, and it's not very hard to see why. From an extensive past we get into drama after drama with different people, to being exposed for being a pathological liar, and overall just a manipulative person, has caused an enormous amount of hate towards her and has caused the entire internet to document her manipulative scandals.
I am the fucking victim. You have abused me and lied. And I'm telling you guys again, there's a fraction that you guys know because I don't show it.
It's fair to say, Gabbie Hanna has had a pretty interesting career on YouTube, as she was your average well-respected creator that many fangirls loved, to someone who people often despise and someone who just can't seem to get their shit together. So today, we're gonna be going through all of Gabbie Hanna's scandals that's made her into the person that people know her for today.
And like music is my way and my passion and the one thing I care about. These are bullies. So you guys are all fucking fake in the first place. Toxic work environment for me. Disrespected and dishonored because I don't know what I did or if I did. Like you won't fucking say it to my face.
Lies, manipulation, and delusion.
Douchebag boyfriend. To truly ignore the majority of hate. I'm a monster.
Look at her pretending to be laughing.
So when she acts like the victim and is wondering why all these people in her life who claim to be her friends are no longer her friends.
And I communicated with her and told her how much that hurt me.
My whole life, I've always been the outcast.
Gabbie Hanna's content creation journey starts in 2013, where she had joined the rising platform at the time, Vine. Vine was a platform where it gave its creators the opportunity to post funny short 6-second videos, and Gabbie had joined it right around the time the site was exploding in popularity. And safe to say, her Vines instantly began to go viral, due to her pretty wild and hyper personality she portrayed in her videos. There was a vast majority of people who liked and supported Gabbie's Vines, but there were also people who seemed like she was just being arrogant, as in some of her Vines she would often make jokes about herself being toxic and crazy, something that would be a path later down the line.
That's what you gotta do? Yeah, how many relationships have you been in? How many boyfriends have you had? 0. What's that? 0! I've had 0 boyfriends! Hey, does this makeup make me look kind of slutty? No, I wouldn't say so. Damn it, let me try the red lipstick!
But at the time, the site wasn't really a big deal, since her Vines were averaging millions of views. But the only problem was that Vine didn't pay its creators any money, and there were people across the site getting tens of millions of views daily, all to make no revenue off of that. So it would be around 2014 where Gabbie going to transition over to YouTube. Obviously, making videos on a platform where you want to be entertaining for 6 seconds, to switch into a platform where you have to be interesting for several minutes is difficult. But Gabbie would adapt to YouTube video creation, as she began posting makeup tutorials, vlogs, and storytime videos, and many of her fans found her personality very interesting, as she would make her storytime videos her primary kind of content across her channel, as in each and every one of her storytimes, it almost seems like they get crazier and crazier, with titles such as I drove off a cliff again, to my neighbor tried to fight me, to my long lost twin sent me a letter, and some of these videos will leave people wondering if they were real or fake, because we all know that storytime channels used to exaggerate or just straight up lie about their stories to make them entertaining for their viewers, and Gabbie's storytime videos would start to have people trying to figure out if they were legit actually, and people would soon figure out that they weren't legit. A post would be made on Reddit where a user would go on to title it, "The Gabbie Show YouTube comedian caught stealing all of her jokes." It was reported that Gabbie Hanna copied several different comedian jokes without crediting them. It made it seem like they were her own original jokes.
No, it's not. It's totally other place. You're not Indians? No. Ah, you're Indians.
It's like Christopher Columbus came to this land. He was like, I found India. And they were like, nope, not India. And he was like, you sure? I'm pretty sure it's India. And they're like, no, it's not India. And he said, ah.
There would also be an array of leaks where it shows Gabbie Hanna stealing other people's tweets that were jokes word for word. And rather than making a little apology tweet and moving on, she would go on to make a 22-minute response video, where she starts off apologizing, but then goes on trying to justify her reasons for stealing it.
Again, I didn't steal it. I'm not saying that. There isn't a chance that 2 or 3 years ago I was rolling through my feed, and I don't know if I was following Bo on Twitter at the time. Maybe I saw it in my feed and laughed, stored it somewhere in my brain, and then when I saw it, I thought it. But even if that happened, I never intentionally stole that joke.
But people would realize something about Gabbie Hanna that would start to become a thing that she'd do in the future, not taking responsibility. As in her response video, she tries to come up with every single excuse for why she stole something, rather than saying it's my bad or it's my fault and moving on. But this drama would pretty much fade away, as it wasn't Gabbie's biggest scandal, but it would be the foundation for how she would begin to act in the future. Fast forwarding to 2016, Gabbie Hanna put her entire focus onto YouTube, as she grew her channel to over 3 million subscribers in late 2016, and in this year she had collaborated with a bunch of different content creators, and overall it seemed like things were going just fine for her. But she would state that 2016 was actually the worst year of her life, and she states that the reason for it being the worst year was due to the first controversy she got in, and RiceGum's video dissing her, and she says that video affected her a ton.
It's hard to keep posting, and it got to the point where I was afraid to post or say anything because I didn't know the backlash that might happen or who was watching or what way it could be misconstrued. Every single day I woke up and I was like, what's next? And I would like check my social blade and I'd be like, when am I gonna start losing subscribers? Which I never did somehow, but it was just every waking day. And honestly, every waking moment, I was just waiting for my phone to ring or get a text.
But rather than most people feeling bad for her, this video only portrayed Gabbie Hanna as an average person who couldn't handle hate, as she was exploding in popularity and getting millions of new subscribers, and there's obviously bound to be a bunch of hate comments directed your way, and that's just how it is on YouTube. There'd also be a similar scenario where a creator by the name of Dom had made a video where he played Smash or Pass, and him and his buddy had both passed on Gabbie Hanna.
Why would you pass on Gabbie? It's not my type, man. Shit. She's not my type either. She's not Asian. So.
And later down the line, she would pretty much go off on Dom for being quote-unquote misogynistic to her.
So before I met him, he played a game of Smash or Pass publicly on YouTube, and when my picture came up, he demonized me and demeaned me. You know, like a misogynistic, disgusting piece of shit who acts as if he could have a chance with me anyway. So at a party, he approached me like nothing was wrong, and I confronted him about it. And I said I didn't like that, and he was like, oh come on, it's just games. And I said, well, you're too short for me to fuck. How do you like being judged on your physical appearance? And then he stormed off and didn't like me anymore.
Now the people who don't know about the situation may assume that Dom probably said some bad shit about Gabbie, but all he said was she's not my type. But not long after this, she would go on to get into it with RiceGum. Previously, like we already said, Gabbie Hanna didn't already like RiceGum because of his video dissing her. So in 2017, Gabbie Hanna had attended a friend's birthday party with RiceGum, and during the party, Gabbie Hanna challenged RiceGum to a rap battle, to which RiceGum had declined. And due to Gabbie Hanna knowing RiceGum for putting a camera right in his face for a live rap battle, RiceGum had gotten up and smashed her phone. But Gabbie would later say that RiceGum had actually hit her.
Okay, so update. Sorry if it looks like I'm crying. RiceGum didn't think that joke was very funny, and he hit me in the middle of a party and shattered my phone. I can show you that in a sec. I'm standing out on the balcony so that it doesn't like make a scene. Like, he literally like, everybody's like, did he hit you? And I was like, yeah, he did. And my phone is broken, the screen is broken, the back camera is broken, so I need to get a new phone.
But this would later be debunked by a friend who was actually at the party, where he states that he never saw RiceGum actually hit her. Gabbie Hanna would go on to escalate the situation even further when she would go on to say, the guy who assaulted me and damaged my property is now trying to threaten me into silence. Seems appropriate. RiceGum just texted and said, tell her to publicly apologize or shit's gonna get worse, just saying. I did not hit a girl, LMAO, this bitch is tripping. We're talking about a person who built their career off of exaggerating and lying about their stories for money. This is exactly what she wants. Now that people know the truth, people are giving her heat, and she's now making it seem like she never said that I hit her. Gabbie would go on to then post a picture and attempt to prove that RiceGum might hit her, but RiceGum would go on to just mock her.
Oh my god, he hit me! Oh my god, he hit me.
Then a couple days later, RiceGum would go on to release his most famous song, I Didn't Hit Her, in a response to Gabbie accusing him of hitting her. And in the end, most of the public is all sided with RiceGum, as people justify his actions by saying that Gabbie was the one who was shoving the camera in his face without his permission, and Rice even told Gabbie that he didn't want to participate in what she was asking him to do. But like we already mentioned, Gabbie Hanna had an extremely supportive and almost like cult-like ravaged fanbase, impressionable teenage girls. But it would also be around 2017 when things would begin to change, as Gabbie would start posting her own music videos, as throughout the year she slowly stopped posting normal vlog type videos and started to upload less frequently and upload primarily music videos. But this would be where people could take more shots at her, as in 2018 she had released her song Monster, which would be featured on Genius, which we're going to sing the lyrics of her song.
So what if I'm the monster that's been here all along?
But let's just say that this didn't go to plan, as this clip will be memed to death across the internet, as the memes itself are more popular than Gabbie's actual monster song. And it's safe to assume that this is pretty much where a lot of people found who Gabbie Hanna actually was. And in Gabbie Hanna fashion, she was going to make a reaction video to the memes made about her, where she tries to somewhat defend herself, but not in a very good way.
And also, I saw some comments saying I could have sang it in my head voice, I could have sang it falsetto, and yeah, I could have. But if I would have done that instead, then all of the comments would say, when I heard that song, I knew she couldn't belt that note like that. That's all producing and auto-tune and vocal effects. So with the internet, you can't win. So I sang it the way that it was written because that's the way I like to hear it.
But in the video, it's clearly visible that Gabbie Hanna is upset about the memes made about her, and the common thing that she always does is respond to anything about her. Her getting memed because she can't sing isn't something that people are just gonna straight up hate you for. But when you make a video being passive aggressive towards memes about you, then people are gonna dislike you. You can say you don't care and it doesn't affect you, but when you keep talking about it and keep responding to things made about you, then it shows that you do care about it. But she was trying to push through this and go back to making her vlog style videos, while also continuing to post music videos. But in late 2019, Gabbie would get into another scandal, but this time it would have the entire public eye have a completely different view on Gabbie Hanna now. For some context, YouTuber Trisha Paytas had been dating Jason Nash, who was a member of the Vlog Squad. Well, one day Gabbie Hanna told Jason Nash that Trisha Paytas has herpes, and if they did anything then he has herpes now, even though Trisha Paytas didn't have herpes. And this of course pissed her off for being falsely accused of having herpes. But Gabbie would say that she only said this because a friend of hers told her that Trisha Paytas has herpes, and she was just trying to be a good friend of Jason Nash.
And I heard that she had an incurable STD. He told me he slept with her. I literally said, hey, this person I've heard has this incurable STD, and if you're going to continue sleeping with her, ask her about it. Don't know if it's true. A close friend of hers told me.
But this situation would result in the two getting into a very nasty argument, and would have Gabbie Hanna never apologizing to Trisha Paytas. And now, people begin to see the type of person Gabbie Hanna really was. But about a month later, things would take a dramatic shift to more serious things, as a video would be released called Gabbie Hanna Needs to Be Stopped, which would be uploaded from Jessi Smiles, who was originally Gabbie Hanna's best friend back during the Vine days, and the two had even moved in together. Well, during 2013, Jessi had begun dating a pretty popular Vine creator at the time, Curtis Laporte. Long story short, Jessi had been sleeping one night, and she woke up to Curtis having sex with her while she was sleeping. And later on, Curtis would be charged for felony assault. And later down the line in 2014, Jessi had found out that Gabbie Hanna was hanging out with Curtis and his friends. And obviously, finding out that your best friend is hanging out with someone that essentially rapes you isn't really the most pleasant news to hear. And eventually, the two were going to cut ties with each other. However, years down the line, there would be this message from a 15-year-old fan. A lot of people forget or don't know that Gabbie Hanna chose a rapist who admitted and wrote and signed a confession to the cops over her best friend, who was the victim, and she didn't just do it privately, but publicly. That's always bothered me. And for a while, this random fan and Gabbie Hanna began to exchange long messages about this situation, and Gabbie Hanna began to manipulate this random fan into agreeing with her that Jessi was actually the one who was being a bad person.
Just really quickly, I want to preface this by saying, because you're gonna see a lot of her messages in the end start agreeing with Gabbie, but basically she sent this to me after realizing that she had been played, pretty much. So you're gonna read her messages. It might be a little confusing to be like, wait, why did she send you these messages? We'll get into the whole conversation, but basically I just want to preface this by saying her responses are a result of her being or feeling manipulated by Gabbie.
But Gabbie would try to say that she only hung out with Curtis's friends and didn't know if Curtis was gonna be with them.
Gabbie told me when I communicated to her, this was after we had stopped being friends, but even though we had stopped being friends, one of the things that I believe you never do, even if you hate someone now, is hang out with their and his friends. So I was hurt and I told Gabbie, this is up. Like, I'm really hurt. And she defended herself when all of this happened, and she said, I was hanging out with his friends. I wasn't hanging out with him. He just so happened to be there and he pulled me to the side. I didn't intend to talk to him, whatever. And I communicated with her and told her how much that hurt me. And that was the point where she told me something like I will literally never forget, because I cannot believe, like, till this day that she would say something like this. She said, Jessi, Curtis's friends didn't rape you.
Gabbie was going to make her own video about the situation, stating that their fallout was completely unrelated to this, but Jessi states that their fallout was completely because she supported her rapist over her own friend. And now with all this hate directed her way, caused her to take a long hiatus from YouTube, only to return back in mid-2020 with a video with over 14 mid-roll ads. And now with everyone against her, caused her views and viewership to rapidly decline, and she would actually claim that she was actually shadow banned from YouTube because she wasn't getting the same numbers she was getting before.
And then when you put up a video being like, this is my dream, and like, I need to escape this toxic cycle, I need to get out of this, and like, music is my way and my passion and the one thing I care about, and like, you're used to your shit performing a certain way, and then it doesn't so drastically, like from 11 million views, 7 million views. Like my music videos all have like millions and millions of views, right? And then Bad Karma, this one that I was like, holy shit, like this is my gem. Like I know Bad Karma's good.
Though claiming that your music videos got shadow banned because it didn't get a lot of views is just a weak argument, and this just painted Gabbie as someone who only cares about numbers and not her actual fans. However, to double down, she was going to do a BuzzFeed interview called Why Is Everyone Mad at Gabbie Hanna, where she states that Jessi Smiles, the commentary channels, and people who don't like her are the reasons why her videos and music videos perform bad. The interviewer would go on to ask Gabbie Hanna about the Jessi Smiles and Curtis situation, and she would go on to say the following: "Who didn't I apologize to? Hanna told me after we sat in her backyard. I gave Jessi Smiles an apology. I gave Beyonce an apology. It feels like I'm always dishing out apologies and I've never once received one, and that to me feels a little chaotic." Holy shit. This statement from Gabbie sparked another feud between the two, as Jessi was going to reach a private 3-hour phone call between her and Gabbie on Twitter.
I said that.
As the way that it all went down. I also didn't hang out with like his friends.
You admitted to it.
People who knew Curtis. I think I was with Pat Lele. We all lived in the same building.
Yes, and he showed up and pulled you to the side.
Guess what? I am allowed to have friends.
In the phone call, shows Gabbie Hanna being extremely toxic and manipulative to Jessi, and Gabbie would make another video about Jessi Smiles, where she makes a video about the 3-hour phone call that they both had with each other. But throughout the video, it was mainly just a video shit-talking Jessi Smiles for supposedly attacking her, as Gabbie was quite literally trying to paint herself as the victim.
Dude, like, why am I being asked about Jessi Smiles in a BuzzFeed article? Because Jessi Smiles made sure that I would be asked about her for the rest of my fucking career, probably. Trust me, I also don't want to be asked about Jessi in a BuzzFeed article. I have a career in entertainment. I do press. I am allowed to talk about my life. This is something that has become a huge part of my story, much to my dismay.
Gabbie also states that Jessi was threatening her in some of the screenshots of the messages that were leaked, but in the messages, Jessi denied threatening Gabbie one bit. And it quite literally shows that Jessi is wanting to end this drama.
People won't believe me. Dude, I've been living in constant fear that a lie that I don't even know I'm telling is gonna catch up with me because I don't fucking remember it. Because I do impulsive shit and then I forget about it. I have memory issues, dude. Dude, that's why this has been so fucking hard. Because like I've been questioning my own fucking sanity and reality for fucking 6 years. Because I don't know what I did or if I did, because I don't have any proof and nobody's given me anything that's real.
After the entire controversy, Gabbie went and pretty much deleted all of her videos and has only just left up her music and a couple other videos, and her viewership only continues to get lower and lower, to the point where her videos start to look like this. Throughout Gabbie Hanna's career, she has showed countless times that she's someone who can't take responsibility for her actions. As Gabbie like herself said, she can't take any ownership for something that she doesn't remember, meaning if she did some bad stuff and doesn't remember it, then it didn't happen. She is someone who doesn't know how to just stop and move on, and is someone who tries to paint themselves as the victim all the time. Obviously, Gabbie Hanna needs help, and if she steps away from internet drama on YouTube and gets the help that she needs, then perhaps she could come back to the old Gabbie Hanna her fans used to like, and could try and fix her damaged reputation. But obviously, knowing Gabbie Hanna, we don't know if she would actually put in the effort to try and actually get help. But that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and drop a like if you want to. Go follow my Twitter at Scorpion_1 and join the Discord, link down in the description. But thank you for the support recently, thanks for watching, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.